Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Batiin ko naman sa video, Happy Mother's Day. If they are a father, they probably mothered somewhere, so go ahead and meet them. We're also honored to have Pastor Estigol and Mother Estigol here. Praying for them for quite some time. It's nice to see them up and about. Sipin namasyal lang sila hanggang Manila pa. Ano sa mga paggalan? Salamat po all the faithful soldiers of the Lord in ministry, and we're proud to be their home church for many, many years. Serve as faithful deacons and disciples of this church. I've said that many times that our loss of them being our church is God's work gained over in Pangasinan. And praise the Lord for them. And Mami, Happy Mother's Day po sa inyo. Parang hindi nagbabaki si Mami. Si Pastor, nagbibinata eh. Gusto ko lang sabi nila, it's never the age, it's the look. So, also, if you don't, if you have, I don't like politics, never been into it, don't like it, never liked it. If you see me with politicians, I just got pushed into it. Naitulak lang po tayo doon for whatever reason or another. Very few politicians come to me because it's a waste of time. However, we do have a list in the back. It looks like this. If you didn't get one, get one. Okay, a list. This is a list of all the senatoriables that are running for Senate and their position on the key issues that are present in society today. Tingnan nyo na. Okay, I've never told you who to vote for. Okay, ganyan yan, pero you'll have your own copy there. So those of you who have bad eyes, use a magnifying glass. Okay. But quite frankly, there's only 3 biblical issues on board that I believe in, and I'll say that right now, and I'll be done with it, okay? I don't care who you vote for. Actually, I do care who you vote for, because who you vote for will reflect on how I look at you. So please don't tell me who you're voting for. Okay? Pastor talaga, can we be friends? No, we can't. If you're against what the Bible says, we can't be friends. You can be my mission field, but you cannot be a fellow missionary with me. Okay? We can't be best buddies. Alright? You can be my member. I will pray for you. You are my mission field. Okay? Because I believe in biblical Christianity. I believe that with all my heart. There's only 3 issues pending on the Senate, which are in the Senate floor. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. There's only 3 issues pending on the Senate floor that is biblical of issues. Everything else is debatable and just politics. Of course, there are certain positions that I like na dapat mangyari, si Endo dapat mawala na, pero babalik-balik namin, it becomes a chess pawn, But there's only 3 biblical issues at bar on the Senate floor today. One is the Soji Bill issue. Okay? Second is same-sex marriage. Third is divorce. Make sure your candidate is against those. I don't care if you're their relatives. Pag yan hindi ganyan sa tatlong yan, kahit Christian pa nagpo-profess yan, hindi totoo Kristiyano yan. Peking Kristiyano yan. Okay? That's not a real Christian. Alright? Okay? Go ahead and flash the other one. Okay? Pastor, you speak strong. Oh yes, I do. Oh yes, I do. I am. Sabi ng mga tao, Pastor, I once got criticized last year for being political. You know what? I'm not a political person. I don't like politics. I did not endorse the last president, although I like him. But because of the certain qualities, hindi ko siya in-endorse. Okay? Okay? And I'm not known to endorse anyone. I've never endorsed anyone. In my entire lifetime, I've only endorsed one candidate. That is Vice Mayor Jesse Cruz. That's it. Nakita ko nung isang araw. Nobody else voted for him on his first run. Wala nagboto sa kanya. Nagpunta sila dito. Siya lang yung endorse ko sa kanila lahat. That's it. To this day. Pag nagboto for president yun, ibaboto ko din yun. Okay? Not because he's a friend, because I know where he stands on issues. Okay? If he changes his stand, I will not endorse him anymore. Ano na kasi clear? Okay? Huwag tayo maging political, maging biblical tayo. Malinaw ba yun? Let us not be stinking political. Let's be biblical. Okay? These mega churches who invite these candidates, and pray over them, kalokohan. It is the pastor's duty as the prophet and Nathaniels of the kings to tell them where they are wrong. Okay? There's only one party list you need to vote for. Apel. Nandun sa ano kayo. Bakit? Kasi Christian yun. Tsaka yung apel, nag-serve na po yan ng one term in Congress. And they had an old revo that they used to go around. Nung tapos yung term nila, revo pa rin ang kotse nila. They did not increase in their own wealth, but they served. Okay? Okay. So learn about that group. You're on my wall. They're not paying for anything. I just know them personally. Okay? Issues yan, tatlo lang. Soji bill, same-sex marriage, and divorce. All the others are political pawns. Nagbabago ba lang yan over time? Kahit tingnan nyo mabuti, you don't have to have a political eye. Tingnan nyo lang paano nagbabago-bago yan. 1 year okay, 1 term hindi na, then okay ulit, then hindi na, then okay ulit. Okay, tatlo lang po ang biblical na issue. I don't care who your candidates are. Okay? Just make sure they vote against those 3 issues. If they don't have a stand on it, forget it. Okay? Alright? Alright? So don't put stuff on your wall and say, don't argue on my wall. Okay, put it on your wall, that's fine. Okay? But I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to say something about it. Okay? Especially if you're from IBC. Okay? As your pastor, I will hold you accountable as you hold me accountable. Okay? There's only 3 issues. Right. 3 issues. Pastor, kasi magnanakaw, lahat siya magnanakaw. Isa lang alam ko hindi magnanakaw na si Pacquiao. Siya yung nanakaw ng tao. Magparay mo siya pera sa gobyerno. Para gawin natin doon. Okay? And even he supported the other 3 magnanakaws, which are really turned off, by the way. Okay? So, I'm just saying. Alright? Tatlo lang. Tingnan nyo. Because how you vote speaks of how you believe the Bible that you say you follow. Okay? Alright? And yun ang sasabi na if you don't vote, wala kang karapat na magsalita. Parang sinabi mo sa akin na pagka wala kang sarili siya, hindi ka pwedeng umihi. Pilipino ka eh, magsalita ka. Kung hindi ka nakapagpa-register, pa-register ka. Ano lang kasi yun. But you ought to speak out. This country is in the demise that it's in, regardless of, since World War II, we've never had this many churches in the Philippines, this many pastors, this many mega churches in this country since World War II. Napakarami. But we're still one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Umakit lang tayo ng konti. Why? Because Christians refuse to speak out. You have to speak out. Okay? If God gives you a platform where people will listen to you in that area, use it. That's why I'm outspoken. Not because I like politics, but I know God gave me a platform and thousands of people listen to it and read it. So I have to use that platform. Okay? Pero nakasimple. But if you need the list, it's there. Lahat ng senatorial boss, kahit hindi popular, nandun. O the position nila. Okay? But if you can't read it well, like I said, there's only 3. Make sure your candidate. Kasi, if you voted for a candidate is for that, I will look at you that you are pro same-sex marriage, pro divorce, and pro social. And I'm not judging you. Your works, judge yourself. Okay? Kasi everything else is just political. Economic and political. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? Alright? Important yan. Bakit? Because as you will see, I have a thing here which you will see, it's Mother's Day, so expect me to say something on mother. So today I want to talk to you about, if you're a man, then I guess you can identify with this. Kasi originally it was given towards a man. You know? It was about David, and it's called A Woman After God's Own Heart. If you are a man, then you are a man after God's own heart. That's the word the original verse came from. There's something I'd like you to see. If you can't see it, I don't know what to do. Okay? Now, in the demographic beside me, there's a bigger screen here, there, and there. No? Speaking of women, you'll be surprised. This is an issue, a statistic by the George Barner Research Group, 2019. So mainit na mainit to, hot off the press. Okay? Look, who do teenagers talk to? A percentage of teenagers who they say are likely to talk to with the members of their household or extended household. Question 1, questions about faith. Pag tungkol daw sa questions about faith, if you notice, yung blue, almost about 90% of teenagers will talk to their mother about faith. Moms. This is an American statistic. So it's more than likely higher in the Filipino statistic. No. 90% of teenagers magtatanong sa nanay bago magtanong sa tatay. Men, this is the judgment on us also today. I want you to know that. Because men are too busy working rather than leading their home. Okay? Pagkatapos mong pag-aralin yung anak mo, pagbigyan ng magandang edukasyon, pakainin, bilihan ng Air Jordan, hindi mo nalilid ang pamilya mo, sablay ka, Brad. Okay? So to those of you who are stay-at-home dads, God bless you. Okay? Pagkatawanan niya. Dahil mag-isip lang po ang panahon. Something that bothers you. If something bothers you, kanina ka daw unang lalapit, almost the same thing. 90%. No? Will go to their moms. When you're bothered about the Bible, look, 90%, about 90% will go to their mothers. Nasa ng fathers. Mas mababa. Interestingly, si grandparent comes a second. So sa mga lola ngayong umaga, this is you. You are in second place. So if you are a grandmother and a mother, double whammy to sa'yo. Okay, ganito katindi ang pressure ko. Politics! Doon lang lumabang si tatay. You know? Kasi tatay walang hindi ako dito mag-discuss ng politiko. Ako wala tindira nito. No? And then sex! Ang pinupuntahan ay friend. Look, pangalawa si mother and father comes in far. Third. Another statistic. Where do teenagers get their support? Encouragement. Look at moms. Whoa, layo. Almost 100%. Go for advice. Moms. All but 98% yan. The mothers will lead far from the fathers. Ito si father, si friend yung sumunod doon. Okay, sympathy. Sympathy. Moms take the lead. Money. Ayan, tatay. Nanalo din. No? Nanalo din. Kaya tatay nangingi ng pera. Bakit? There's a reason for this demographic. For this statistic. Kasi most men will just give you money, don't want to talk to you anymore. Kala naman tayo mga lalaki, alam tayo, ano? Kasi kung totoo po ito, na nilamigan tayo sa pera ng anak natin, dahil may kailangan sila and sincere, at hindi tayo basta bumili ng pera, wala tayong time pakitungo sa anak natin, bakit ang baba ng rango natin sa encouragement and advice? Dapat sabayan. Statistics says a lot. Logistical help, dapat tulong naman sa ganito, pag-work ng ganito, paggawa ng ganito. Logistical help, nanalo si Father. Same, ganun na naman tayo ulit. Let's go to the last one, the most important one. Where teens actually receive spiritual guidance and encouragement. Look at that, numbers. Encourages me to go to church. About 98% ng kabataan will be influenced by their mother to go to church. I think kami lang ang exception dyan. But then again, my father and mother stand united when it comes to things like that. Sa bahay namin, pagbukas ang pintuan ng church, dapat nasa loob ka. Kahit hindi mo alam kung pupunsan yan. Alas pumasok ka doon, mas lalaki ang ladies fellowship atras. Okay? Alam ka na ibang paraan ko mo. Encourages me in other ways. Mom leads the pack. Sets an example. Mom leads the pack. Close. Si father talks to me about God's forgiveness. Mom leads the pack. Teaches me about the Bible. Si mami at si lolo, lola, nagdidirahan. Teaches me about traditions, doon lang nanalo. Si lolo at si lola. But mothers come first. What an influence. Kaya pala sabi nila, no, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world.
Amen.
What an important day. And please don't say yung sinasabi na rin ko sa Facebook na nila kayo, kung walang nanay, wala ako. Hello, kung may nanay ka lang, paano ka lumabas? Kailangan may tatay. Ano ka tilapia? That's gotta be the dumbest. I see them all the time on my phone. Like, ano ba? Ano ba po sa Facebook? Pang mga mga tao na to? Ba? Kung wala ka dito, wala kami. Hello! Wala kang tatay, wala kami. That makes no sense. So please don't post that. Okay? That's almost as bad as the game where you work on plastic crap. The older people, plastic crap. Okay na po. Ibang generation, you have to be in touch with them. And so let's understand. Pag ganun pala katindi yung influence ng mothers and grandmothers and grandparents, no wonder the Bible says this about the eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him. This is a writing by, actually scary yung latter end ng part na yan eh. And because there are none, you will have wars. It's a contrast, study of contrast. That God is looking throughout the whole earth to look for people na yung puso is solely given to God. And when you don't have that, you have wars. So in other words, if you don't have a heart to follow God, you will have wars. Dalawa lang. Walang middle ground. And so you ask me today, if your house is doing good, or if your house is doing not so good, or if your house is doing bad, isa lang ang reason why magulo yung tahanan mo. Really, honestly, it is a judgment on all of us. Pag magulo ang tahanan mo, pag basag ang tahanan mo, pag magulo ang relationship nyo doon, isa lang ang reason. You're not seeking after God. Kasi you only either seek after God or you seek after yourself. Dalawa lang po yan. Wala pong middle ground. Wala pong middle ground. Kahapon, nakikimo ang ate mo nag-post na space ng isa arang picture namin ni Mami. Sabi ko na, wow! Kita ko picture ng Mami ko. Wouldn't it be nice to see Mom today? Sabi ko, ay, hindi ko na. Sa mga nagsasabi nun, alam niyo yung nagsasabi nun? Kung makikita ko lang po ang nanay ko, eh patay na yung nanay mo. Eh kung mamaya maghapang tulog ka, anak, tinatawag mo daw ako. Hindi po, tulog sa heaven na lang kayo, sa heaven na lang kayo. Sa heaven na lang kayo, mas okay po doon. Be careful what you ask for. Baka pagbigyan tayo doon eh. Although hindi logical sa akin, pero baka pagtalipan tayo. But man, what an impact! So in other words, Pastor, you're saying to me na pag magulo yung tahanan ko, pag basag yung tahanan ko, pag sirasira yung tahanan ko, it only means one thing, that I'm not seeking after God. I'm sorry, but the answer is yes. Kasi you're either seeking after God or you're seeking after yourself. Because if you're seeking after God, you won't have time to be selfish. You will be biblical. You will be a faithful husband. You will be a faithful wife. You will be a selfless husband. You will be a selfless wife. Why? Because that's God's ideals. The Bible, Jesus says, your heart follows your treasure. If your treasure is anything other than God, then kalaboso yung mangyayari sa buhay mo. You see? And so we have Proverbs chapter 31. Seeing that it's all Mother's Day, this is the most read verse today, I might as well go ahead and say it. No? It says, charm is deceptive, beauty is vain, doesn't last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised, rewarded for all that she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. In other words, sabi ng Panginoon, the woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. In fact, the man who fears the Lord will be praised. The child who fears God, who respects God, will be praised. Kahit sino who will put God first will be praised. And will be honored. So, Pastor, what do you mean by a woman or a man who is after God's heart? Kung ganun pala katindi yung influence ko, kung ganun pala katindi based on the statistic that you said, parang grabe. 9 out of 10% ang mga anak ko sa akin tumitingin. 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10%, 8 out of 10%, no, out of 10, lalapit sa akin ang mga apo ko more than anyone else. In a time where we think friends say everything, iba pala ang sinasabi ng statistic. Give up lang natin yung role na yan. Well, you know, Pastor, I don't have a mom. If you're going to be a mom, then you know what you're supposed to do. If you are a boy, you will never be one. Okay? So forget that. No to social media. Okay? I just like, pasunod na isa pa. So let's talk about ano ibig sabihin ng as a man or woman after God's own heart. Dalawa lang, I'll be quick. Kasi alam ko marami sa inyo, lalabas. Today ang pinaka-crowded time sa mga restaurant. So papalabasin ko kayo ng maaga. Para pag nauna kayo doon, lumabas na order kayo, ha? Huwag niyo kalimutan, pasalubong mo. Pabalik. Kaya kami, sabi ko sa Mr. Babe, hindi tayo maging dami namin, ang hirap mong yan. May pagsisigas sa restaurant, ha? Magluto ka na lang. Pwede naman po ako magluto, pero mas maganda iluto. So yeah, a woman after God's own heart means what? Based on 2 Chronicles, it says that she has an intimate walk with God. Now, notice the word in 2 Chronicles, whose heart is fully. The word fully here, the word fully is interesting in the Hebrew word. It means that there is no other desire. No other desire above God. I was talking to a group of pastors just recently, and I said that the saying that says, God first, and everything is second should not be. It should be God alone. Period. That's what that means. A heart that desires to follow God above anything else. Yun yung hinahanap ng Panginoon. See, God's not looking for skill. He's looking for hearts that chase after God. How many of us pray a simple prayer every morning that we ought to pray? God, here I am. Did you know that every encounter in the Bible na magiging makabuluhan always begins with this statement? Si Samuel, when God was calling him as a child, sabi sa kanya ni Eli, lumapit ka, mag-pray ka. And when you hear the voice, sabihin mo, here I am, Lord. Every encounter with God in the Bible that was significant always either begins or ends with this simple statement, God, here I am. So simple. Lord, eto po ako. I'm here. What do you want to do with me? Hindi yung, God, these are what I want to do for you. No. God, these are things I want to do. Can you please bless? Hindi yun. God, here I am. Ano pong gusto niyong gawin, God? Here I am. Si Moses encounters the bush. God says, take off your feet. And he says, here I am. Same thing. Kay Abraham, here I am. Every single significant encounter with God na naging highly impacting always began or ended with, here I am. Bakit ko kailangan gawin ng pastor? Because your family follows more than anything. Moms, mga nanay, why should I do that, pastor? My husband should be the leader of the home. I know. But stop pointing at your husband. I will show you statistics. Okay? I wish husbands would lead. I pray husbands would lead. But statistics already show that no matter how hard husbands try, women are more powerful in the home. Pastor, are you pointing to me? Are you blaming me? No. I'm just showing you the statistics. No wonder in the Bible, even the submission of the woman is more compelling to make an unbelieving man follow God. than a wise man to compel his family. If you look at it from this angle, sa angle na to, maintindihan mo, bakit na kahit yung simple payak na utos ng Panginoon about sa mga kababaihan, sa mga asawang babae, na mag-submit sa kanyang asawa, what would seem to be so selfless and such a martyr in these feminist days, sobrang powerful in the eyes of God. Kasi nga, ang kapangyarihan at influence ay nasa kababaihan. Kaya kahit yung simple na pagsusumamo ng isang babae sa kanyang asawa ay napaka-powerful sa mata ng Panginoon at napaka-effective. Kayo maniwala? Tanungin niyo yung lalaki ng asawa. Anong mas effective? Ang asawang babae, kausapin ka ng maayos, kahit mali ka, na may paggalang, o ibalis lang ka sa filosofiya, at kawawain ka. Unfortunately, women, you're married to cavemen. Hindi na magpapayag kung makipagbangayan. May pagsuntukan yan. That's what I'm saying. You see, a daily prayer. She has an intimate walk with God. What is an intimate walk with God, Pastor? You know, what a statement. An intimate walk with God. Nothing is hidden from God. Everything follows after God. What else does it mean, Pastor? Secondly, when we talk about a woman after God's own heart, it means that she has a heart reserved. A heart reserved for God. Now, I completed the word there. Because the eyes of the Lord runs to and fro throughout the whole earth to look for one whose hearts are fully committed. Pinagsama ko rin yung word niya, magkaibali rin. Fully means everything. Committed is different. Now, if you look at the word commitment, parang interesting yan. But if you look at the word committed alone in the Hebrew, it's interesting. It means completely friendly. Completely friendly. Ano na, Pastor? Yun ang ibig sa pala. Ano, napakalang na teology yung pinag-uusapan. No. Completely friendly. No? Completely friendly towards God. Ano yung sabihin ng Pastor? One that chooses God. If you ever played basketball, all of the young men have experienced probably this kasi Pilipinas is a basketball country. How do you know if you have a friend in the basketball game? Madali lang. Pagpilian, di ba sa pilihan sa basketball? No. Ha? Kahit alam niyang ban-ban ka, pipiliin ka niya. Kahit alam niyang kaliwa yung dalawang kamay at paa mo, dahil di ka makashoot, dahil kaibigan ka niya, una ka niyang pipiliin. Sabihin mo to, look, ba't ka ba yung kinuha yun? Yan. Completely friendly ang tawag dyan. One that chooses, no reservations. All are given to God. How do you know, Pastor, a woman whose heart is totally reserved for God? It shows in her daily walk, in her speech, in her decisions. Pastor, ang hirap gawin yan. Oo nga. You know how to build a friendship? Two elements. Time. Dedication. No one becomes a friend instantly. Tama ba ako? Paano mo naging kaibigan yung kaibigan mo? It took time. And it took dedication. Tama? You don't become best friends with someone just because. Okay? Ang misis ko dahil best friend niya. Pero hindi niya best friend lahat ng best friend niya. Ako din po, marami kong best friend. Pero hindi ko best friend lahat ng best friend. Nasasabi best friend ko sila. Bakit? Kasi it takes time and it takes dedication. How do you know that a woman has a heart reserved for God? She takes time and dedication towards God. That is what God is looking for. Hindi pala yung maraming talent, maraming religion, maraming ano-ano. Important yun. Religious practices are important. Serving God is obviously important. Serving the Lord, obviously, mahalaga yan. But really, if you want to be a woman, a mom, a grandparent, after God's own heart, it takes time and dedication. Ano yung pinakamasagwa? If a woman were to spend a long time na pagiging Christian, but you have not spent a long time chasing after God, ang tanda mo na, hindi ka pala nagtatanda. That means then that the prayer ought to be looking at the demographic we just read. Is, Lord, lead me as I lead. We need mothers today. We need moms today who will pray that two simple prayers. Lord, here I am. Second, Lord, lead me as I lead my family. Lead me as I lead. Don't wait for the husband, but pray na lang natin siya. But pray, kasi the opportunities given to the mother are different from the opportunities given to the father. If you're a single person here, or you don't have a mom, no, then God has blessed you to start something new. If you are a young man na wala kang mom or father, then God has blessed you to start something new. I've always said, if God didn't give it to you, stop emoing about it. Kung di ka naman binigyan ng Panginoon ng nanay o tatay, huwag ka na mag-emo kasi kahit ilang putot yan, hindi mo ilalabas ang nanay at tatay mo. If your parents were responsible, hindi mo sila mapapagawang responsible. Cut the cords here and say, by God's grace, I will be faithful to God. If you did not have a godly mother or a godly father, or they went home to be with the Lord already, I did not have a godly grandfather on my mother's side. I had an incredible godly grandfather on my father's side. Total opposites yung dalawa. Langit yung isa, impyerno yung isa. I'm not kidding. Yung lolo ko sa mother's side, matagal ng church yan, pero nakakilala sa Panginoon just a few weeks before he died. Okay? Dito sa labas, ang bait yan. Bahay was a living hell. Okay? What would I gain na magpakaawa sa sarili ko? Kasi wala akong leadership ng lolo sa bahay. Hello! Forget it! Move on! God gave you your own life. Establish a new tradition. Chase after God. Chase after God. Have a heart totally reserved for the Lord. And say to God, Lord, lead me as I lead. Lead me as I lead today. One of my favorite illustrations about women being godly is a woman you've heard me mention many times. She's not very popular. No? Her name was Susanna Wesley. She was the mother of John Wesley and Charles Wesley, the founder of the Methodist and the Wesleyan Church. Naghiwalay kasi dalawa. Pero actually Methodist yun. Silang dalawa. John Wesley, when he began to preach and preach and preach and preach, thousands followed him. Ayaw na magkaroon ng church. No? And looking at the shores of England, habang nakatayo siya doon, sabi nung kapatid niya si Charles, John, we have thousands following you. When are you going to start a church? Sabi ni John Wesley, I was not called to start a church. Then where will you have church? If the world is following you, sabi ni John Wesley, then let the world be my church. And he was not kidding. And from there, after pagkamatay, John Wesley became the founder, unintentional founder of the Methodist Church and the Wesleyan Church. This is their mom. The household of Susanna Wesley had basically 16 rules. One, eating between meals is not allowed. I need her to be my mother. The reason why is they were so poor. Sobrang hirap nila. In the 1700s, they were so poor. They had nothing to eat. And she didn't want food to go to waste dahil nagpapakpaklan. Sa bahay namin, bawal din yun. Eh, sarap magluto. Bawal. Sumundot pag nakatalikod. Bawal yan. Mapagalitan niya. That's one of the rules I like. As children, they're to be in bed by 8. Hindi po AM yan, kung may mga kabataan dito. Okay. Third, they were required to take medicine without complaining. Anak si Andre, nautara na siya. Four, subdue self-will. Look up. Subdue self-will in a child and those working together with God to save the child's soul. Mothers, listen, look at that. In today's society, subdue the will of the child. In other words, baliin mo sungay. Ha? And those working together with God to save the child's soul. Teach the child to pray as soon as he can speak. And kayo kung ano-anong mga computer yung pinapalaro sa bata, hindi pa marunong mag-pray. Tapos nagtataka kayo, pag teenager, ayaw tumawag sa Panginoon. Require all to be still during family worship. Naku, sa bahay namin, huwag kang hihiga pagka family altar. Upo. At mag-pray tayo. Give them nothing that they cry for, only that when they ask politely. In Tagalog, bawal maglupasay. Gusto mo magkaroon ng John Wesley and Charles Wesley? O yan, teka. Huwag na sa akin. Yan na lang. To prevent lying, para hindi mo sinungaling, punish no fault, which is first confessed and repented of. Huwag mo lang parusahan kung ito ay sincerely humingi ng tawad. Notice sa confessed and repented sa pagtatalito. Sabi ko, ganyan din kami kasi papako na sa krus. Never allow a sinful act to go unpunished. In other words, maraming mga magulang sa sobrang busy ngayon, pagod na kayo magsaway pa, so you turn the other cheek. If you turn the other cheek sa maling kalawang ginagawa ng anak mo, the devil turns his eyes at your child. Kasi pabayaan ka magulang. Number 10, never punish a child twice for a single offense. He's very sensitive. 11, comment and reward good behavior. Hindi tayo puro pagalit na. 12, any attempt to please, even if fully performed, should be commended. Wow. I will stop there. Tuloy ko lang. No? Sobrang hirap ng time ni Susanna Wesley. She had 19 children. Wow, grabe. Dinaig niya si Marisa. Ay, hindi niya kasi. Ang dahil ng adopted nito, tapos magdadagdag pa kami ng dalawa this week. Pag-pray niya na. Okay. No? 19 children. Okay. 2 of them were sets of twins. But of the 19, 9 died. 9 died. For sicknesses, out of hunger, or just plagues that happened then. 1 died dahil yung yaya smothered the child. In other words, takpan ng mabigat, hindi na kanya namatay. By the time she died, 8 or 9 of her children were still surviving. All served God. All served God. Not like John and Charles, but all served God. They survived 2 fires in their home. They survived 2 fires in their home. One of which sinunog yung bahay nila because her husband, Dr. Wesley, abdicated against the Church of England kasi sa mga palinturo ng England and they began to follow the Bible. Kaya naging Methodist, they followed only the Bible. Noong time na yan, when Methodist, to this na lang. 13. Preserve property rights, even in smallest matters. Inside the house to, In other words, bawal basta-basta maghiraman. May karapatan. Sa bahay namin, puro boys yan, bawal maghiraman ng brief. Everything else, you must ask for permission. 14. Strictly observe all promises. Wow. All promises. Pag pinangako mo, kailangan tuparin mo. 15. Require no daughter. This is in the time na ang babae bawal mag-aral. Okay? Male-dominated society. So notice what she did. Require no daughter to work before she can read well. Pinahalaghan niya. So please, to those of you who are thinking feminist, okay, we're going to stop with that. It's unbiblical. Notice the priority she put. Lastly, teach the children to fear the Lord. Teach the children to fear the Lord. This is what was said about Susanna Wesley. If you look at history, you will find this. Wikipedia, Einstein, you will find this is what is said about Susanna Wesley. Although she never preached a sermon or published a book or founded a church, she is known as the mother of the Methodist Church. Why? Because two of her sons, John Wesley and Charles Wesley, as children, consciously or unconsciously will, applied the examples and teachings and circumstances in their home life from their mother, Susanna Wesley. Wow. Grabe pala ang impact. More than what we thought. So today we're going to pray. Would you stand with me? If you are a mother or a grandmother, sa mga nanay ko at lola, dito, yan. Pwede po bang pakitaas ang inyong kamay? Kindly raise your hand. Alright? To those of you who are not mothers and grandmothers, you see them raising their hands. Okay? Yeah. What we're going to do today is we're going to pray for them. Bakit? Kasi those mothers spend a lot of time praying for us. So, ito man ng araw na ito, ipag-pray natin sila. Okay? So, if you have a mother in the congregation, kindly go to your mother or your wife. Okay? Kindly go to them. Your mother or your wife, kasi we're going to pray for them. Alright? Yung pong walang mother dito sa church natin, o walang mother or walang lola sa church nito, worker or member of the church, tingnan nyo yung mga mother sa paligid. Okay? Pakilapitan nyo nga at ipag-pray natin sila. Okay. Lapitan nyo nga at ipag-pray natin sila. Okay. Okay. Yung mga anak ko dito, tingnan nyo kung may mga ninyo kung may kasama sila. Kung wala, puntahan nyo. At ipag-pray nyo. Okay. Pag-pray natin sila. Okay. We're going to pray for them. Alright? To the moms and the lolas here today, can you look at me for a second? Sa mga lola, at nanay, ngayong umaga, can you look at me for a second? I just want to tell all of you, salamat po. Salamat po. Your impact on our lives are incredible. More than thank you. In fact, your presence in church today says something about your spiritual life. Salamat po. Kasi po maraming mga bata na hindi nagkaroon ng godly mother or godly grandmother. But you are here. Salamat po. You're not always your best, but guess what? We're probably worse based on the statistic. Base sa statistics, mas malala kami kaysa doon. So let's pray. We want to pray for you and thank you this morning. We want to thank you this morning. So let's take this time. If you're here, kindly pray for the moms or the lolos are silent. So we're going to pray for them. Okay? Because they spend a lot of time praying for you. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning. We just want to thank you and praise you for godly moms and godly grandmothers. Lord, they never confess to be perfect. But Lord, encourage them to keep trying. Encourage them, Lord, to keep pursuing you. Encourage them to be women, moms, and grandmothers after your own heart. Women who have an intimate walk with you. Women who have their hearts reserved for you. And if, Lord, there are people here this morning na hindi nila nagagawa yun, God challenge them this morning. Not to wait for anyone else to stand, not to wait for their husbands to stand, for their the other grandfather to stand. Kasi Panginoon, statistics tell us, Lord, that the mothers and the grandmothers take precedence over their influence in the home. And so, God, I pray that you will challenge them, Lord, to stand for you and to stand with you because they have such an incredible impact in the home. And Lord, the future leaders of this country are born in each home. Tulungan mo kami, Panginoon. Tulungan mo sila, Panginoon. Ang tanging mithiin sa kanilang puso at buhay ay hanapin ka at sumunod sa iyo. Na wala, Panginoon, ang parte ng kanilang puso, Panginoon, na hindi nakalaan sa iyo. That no part of their heart, no part of their life will not be after you, chasing after you, not give it to you. Lord, if they've not done that, challenge them this morning to do that. Challenge them this morning to do just that. Lord, we thank you for mothers and grandmothers today. We thank you for their incredible influence in our lives. And so today, we praise you, Lord, for them. We honor them today. In your name we pray. Amen.